morning. It's 9:30. Welcome to the zipForm Plus training this morning from, I'm here at Western Gable Board. I'm in a very small room because they're decorating the room for this upcoming Thursday night. We have a chamber mixer here. We're supposed to have 60 people signed up, but so far we don't have that many here. So I don't get to see you, and I am sorry. That hopefully one day we can see each other in person again. Our association is planned to open hopefully by next month. By the time that the board director decide, then we'll have to open up and then see everybody in our association live. So welcome. My name is Ling Chow. I am your instructor today for the zipForm class. zipForm is a CAR member benefit that's free. You don't have to pay anything to use the form if you're a member of the local board and CAR and NAR. So for the newbies, the first part are the very basic, how to sign in, how to put your company name, how to download forms, very, very basic. So for the people has been on zipForm, wants to know a little bit more about advanced zipForm, you're welcome to come back about 11 o'clock, where we'll touch about the digital ink, DocuSign, touch sign. So if you feel that I don't want to listen to the first portion because it's too basic for me, you're welcome to come back to the second portion, roughly about 11 o'clock. So for the new agents that just joined our board, and sometimes I don't understand Zoom. It pop up something to say something. I don't even understand what they're talking about. We've been on Zoom for over 2 years now. I still don't understand Zoom. Okay, so CAR provided the zipForms, the new agents, zipForm and CRMIS, which is the multiple listing services, are the two items that you probably use the most in your career as a real estate agent. We have forms that's written by the CR attorneys. We don't write forms. We're not attorneys. We don't know legal terms. So all the forms are written by the CR hired attorney, our staff attorney. And with the committee that helps, we have forms committee that tells them, hey, we need to update this or we need to change this. So about every 2 years, we change forms. We update forms or we change forms. The last December, we had a major change of form. The biggest one that was on the list, there was quite a long list, but the most effective one in our business is the residential purchase agreement. That is 16 pages now. So every year, about, I would say in June, in first part of the year and the second part of the year, there will be form updates. So you will see all the forms that coming up and tell you there is forms update. And I highly recommend anybody, including myself, taking classes regarding forms or legal updates on all of our transactions. CER provided them and we provide them as well. We have speakers that comes to our association to talk about legal updates and forms, and most of them are free. There's no charge. So I want to welcome to the new members that joined us that doesn't understand anything about zipForm. So going to zipForm, there's a couple places that you could do. You can go to the CAR.org, which I'm showing you right now, which is the California Association Realtor website. You can also go into our website, which is the www.wsgvar.com, our website. And the other place that you can come into zipForm is the CRMIS website as well. So there's 3 places that you can come in, but I personally like to come in from the car.org website. If you haven't been to car.org, I highly recommend you to do so, because it has a lot of information and it's out hidden inside. A lot of legal matters, broadcasting, uh, webinars, classes, transactions, learn and thrive. We have meeting, events, education, a lot of information that's buried inside that you kind of have to play with to find out what's going on. But this is where I go to search for a lot of my questions. Okay, so how do we get in? We have to sign in first. We have to sign in on the top right corner. It says sign in. I'm going to click sign in. And if you're new to car.org, you have to register here. And you have to know your NER number. NER number is the NAR number. So we have so many numbers, right? So once you get into, once you get your license, you're going to get the DRE number. You join the board, you're going to have your local association number. CAR used to have a number for people. I don't know if they still do anymore, but NAR will give you a NER number. Instead of say NAR number, they call it NERDS. So if you want to find, you don't know, you're welcome to find your NER number here. And you can go by last name and your email address, or your last name and your DRE number. So if you put in the email address, we all have many email address. I personally have a lot, but the one that when you register with us, with the Western Gable Board, the email address that you register with us will be submitted to the National Association of Realtors. So you can put in your last name and the email address that you remember that you put in. And once you do that, you submit, you'll get your DRE number, NER number. See, I'm confused too. The other thing that will come to find out where the NER number is when they mail you quarterly a Realtor magazine. On the mailing address on top of your name and your address, there's a number. That is also your NER number. They go out by that. Okay, so I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys understand. By the way, if you have any question, you're welcome to put in the chat, or you want to talk, you can raise your hand. I will unmute you and I will ask you what your question is. So since I've been signing in quite a bit, I'm just going to sign in. Okay, I'm in. So once I get in, on the circle, the 3 big circles, there's a big giant circle here. It says Realtor Secure Transaction, and it's transaction. So I'm going to click this particular circle. Once I come in here, there's a couple of things that's happening. The hurdles is something else. A realtor secure transaction is tips and training, but the one that I really want to go in is this one, Loanwood Transaction zipForm Edition. Okay, so I'm going to access the zipForm. I'm going to wait because it says validating membership. Why they do that? Because it's free for you, but as a member, but it's not free to the public. zipForm has changed a long way. It used to be just California Association Realtors and are only California and few other states, but now it's nationwide. So every state uses zipForm Plus now. So as you see here, it says thank you, happy anniversary. So every year we have to renew our subscription, but it's free. So what I do is I just say renew, because San Francisco Association of Realtors has their own little forms that sometimes if you're buying San Francisco properties, you have to use their form. So it's not going to charge me anything. I'm just going to say exit. Okay. So here it is. This is the dashboard. So that dashboard consists of a form. On the top, it says form, dashboard, form, transaction, templates, doc, inbox. We'll talk about every one of them, okay? Tasks, contact, partner, shop, help. There's list flash, there's view forms, there are new e-signatures, new transaction, new contact, and tools. And it tells you if you have any, if you set up any things that you need to do today, it will put in here, okay? On the top, it has a little shopping cart. So I'm gonna click that. So it for the new agents, the new members, if you want, you have to, what I do is click all the free ones. The most important ones, of course, is the California Association of Realtors. You have to click that. And anything that's free, I pretty much clicked it, okay? I click all this, and you probably need all this anyway. So you need the zip vault, you need all this wonderful, these are all free. My items are all free, okay? So once you click that, you go into shopping cart, it'll tell you how to pay for it, and there's no charge, okay? So there's products like zipForm Record Connect is $24.95. You want to know what that is, they'll have a little explanation to you. It really is cut down expense on the forms and speed up your closing. There's so many information, but utilize latest data and national tax record database. You can always find that without paying. So this is a service that if you want to pay, you're welcome to. Transaction Zap is another charge for $49 a year. We're talking about a year. And the it just zap people if you're having a listing or you want to tell them about it. Very similar items, but just very different charges. The Loanwood Elite agent is $249 a year. And when, where and when happens. So basically, there's other things like zipForm mobile. We get that for free, so you don't have to. You don't have to pay $12.95 per year. But there's if you have a transaction, and they'll tell people, they'll go out and email to transaction, anyone an email address and add it. So it's a lot of different things that you can do, a little bit more, but to help you in your business for $249. Touch sign is free as well. zipForm is free for us, okay? So the new agents, please make sure you go to shopping cart and you click all the forms that's free. And this is the distressed property, Fannie Mae forms. Again, you can see they're really pushing for the lead agents. And the RPA consumer guide, if your agent wants to understand what is, how to RPA is the residential purchase agreement. So the agent or your consumer wants to understand what that means, you can send it to them, but it's $49. So the AIR commercial forms for NAR member for $199. If you're a commercial agent and you want to write an offer and the commercial agent says, send me an AIR form. They don't want to see our California Association of Realtors, the forms. So you have to come and purchase $199 per year. And if you join, our year is really from March to March. So they prorate it for you. They prorate the monthly. So right now, if you buy, I think it is $199, but later on in the year, they'll prorate whatever the month is left. So the AIR forms for commercial. So why do we offer $199? Because you can use all the form unlimited for $199 a year. If you go to AIR commercial forms website, you have to buy their token. Each form is whatever the charge of the token is, and each form, they don't let you repeat using it. So every time you use a form, you have to pay a token. So you buy the token and they deduct the forms per form price every time you use it. So for us, we have a negotiation with AIR Forms saying that, hey, our member, we pay you $199 and we use it unlimited. So if you're a commercial agent, I highly recommend you to buy the form. Open house form is $49.95. If you need it, you're welcome to do that. Oregon real estate forms are free, but you have to be a licensed in real estate, Oregon real estate to use the form. Worldwide ERC is international forms. There's forms there that if you're interested, you can download $69.95. You can always come back to say, okay, I need it later on. You don't have to buy anything now. Select a listing library from a different state. So like I said, we're nationwide. Let's say you move to another state, Nevada. So once you get to Nevada, you join their board, you can always get their forms. But some people are licensed in different states, so they can also download their state forms. Okay. I hope you guys understand about forms. We're going to move on. And this is Lightning. List Flash, we talked about that. Bulletin is something they want to share with you. There's no bulletin they want to tell me. Usually there's a bulletin, you can see it. Announcement, notification. Okay, so if you have form signed or something happens, they'll send you a notification, or somebody sent you an email, or somebody touch DocuSign is finished, or digital ink is finished, or something is finished. They will notify you. This is where it'll pop up. This little thing is called schedule meeting. We don't use that anymore as much as we do. What it is that you can invite your client to have a video conference here. But now there's so many ways that we can do video conferencing. We don't really need a Zip Consult. But the only thing that was really good for us that they're still here is because you can share your forms with them while you're doing video conferencing with them on the Zip Consult. So we have the advanced option, and every time I click that, it's an object move here and nothing happened. So what it is I think that if you want to have 1 to 6 people, it's free. Above 6 people, I think that is going to be a charge. Before they show you that if you want to do a class of over 100 people, you can also do that too. But right now, everybody's using Zoom. We can also use Facebook, WeChat, Line. I mean, there's so many ways of doing video conferencing. I don't know how long this is going to stay here. Okay, so here we are. It says me. Me means you and me that is signing up on this particular program right now. So we have me. And you see the bottom says profile and settings. So that's where we're going to go. So about me is where I have my name, my email, my telephone number, and make sure you put in your DRE license number. And on the email signatures, I would like to recommend you guys put your name, your telephone number, your email address, and your DRE number. The reason, maybe even more elaborate, putting your company name, your company DRE number. The reason I'm asking all of you to do that is the email might not be coming from your personal email, okay? It could be coming from a ZipLogic email or their zipForm contracted parties email. So if your client received the email and they don't know how to reply to you, how to get back to you, they're looking for your telephone number, they're looking for your email address. So it's always good to put all that in the email signature. So whenever that goes out, they can find you. So you can change the format, your font size. You can do all that, and you can put in your logo, your picture, anything you like. But make sure you just add it to all the email signature when it goes out. Okay. The second one is called the signing security, because we're coming from car.org. So don't touch this, okay? Unless you're coming in from a different place, you can do that, but I normally come from car.org. A lot of people still coming from zipForm. If you're coming from zipForm, they're going to ask you for your username and your password. It'll be different from the car.org. Okay, and did I lose anybody yet? Are you guys still here? Okay, so I'm going to go to Office. Okay, Office is where you're going to change your company name every time you change a company. You might move from Co-op Banker to Century 21. If you do that, please remember to change your company information. Why is this important? Because on the first page of every form, your company name will be on the bottom, right? So let's say you take a listing with and you're moved from Co-op Banker to Century 21, and you forgot to change your company name on your forms. On the bottom still shows Co-op Banker, but your license really at Century 21 now. So where does the form, your listing contract goes to? Century 21 or Co-op Banker? And because you sign it in Co-op Banker, you're gonna have a hard time fighting to the Co-op Banker broker, say, hey, that's not your listing, because I'm with Century 21 now. So be careful. Same vice versa when you're purchasing a property and you haven't changed your form company, and you write it under Co-op Banker, and you wonder why, what happened, and Co-op Banker can come and claim that is their purchase agreement and they're buying it, even though you change it to, you had to kind of disclose it. I'm sorry, guys, wrong form, wrong company, okay? So make sure that every time you change a company, you come here and change your information. But update company only apply to new transaction that is created. It doesn't reflect the old company information forms, okay? So next one is called forms. Like I said, I download so many forms, okay? I have downloaded all this, and you're welcome to do the same. I usually just click all the no charge one, okay? Products. So we have digital ink, we have zipVault, we have Elite Messaging app, we have MLS Connect, which is connected to the CRMS, Offer Place, Transaction Management System,
Hello, Ling, are you still there?
zipForm 6. Okay, anybody hear me? Hello?
Yes, sorry. Earlier, I think you were cut off for a little bit.
Oh, nothing happened. I'm sitting here, didn't even move.
Okay.
It's our association connection probably was lost. Okay, where did you guys hear me? What part did you lose?
Just the last few seconds, that was it.
Okay, all right. Is everybody here? Did we lose attendance? Not sure. I'm not sure either, Ronnie. Um, are you guys hearing me now? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I'm at our association. Maybe they had in and out connection. I apologize. Next time it goes out, let me know. Okay, so talking about zipForm 6 standard, it's a desktop version. zipForm wants to get away. They don't want to do this anymore. They don't want you guys to download to your desktop. We want you to use the zipForm Plus, which is the cyberspace. Um, the reason that it's still here is because there's a lot of members that still want to download to their computer. And you can do that from car.org. When you download to your computer, the only thing is that it's good because if you don't have any web internet connection, you can still work. You can still open the zipForm standard version and you can work on the forms. What's not good about it is that it doesn't do automatically update on forms, and it doesn't talk to zipForm Plus or automatically. It doesn't talk to the cyberspace version. So if you do on the home desktop and you go to Office or your another device, and you're on zipForm Plus, it will not connect. The work that you have done on the home desk version and the work that you have open on the office computer, it will not connect. It will not unless you sync it. So you have to upload it and they pick it up and they download it. So we zipForm wants to get away with standard because they don't think it's necessary anymore, but many of members still wants it. So it's still here. I don't know when they're going to take that away from us, but I think the future is very near taking away from us. So I would highly recommend you guys still go into car.org or our website or the CRMS website to come in under the cyberspace version, the internet version. Okay, zipForm mobile, we'll talk about that later. You can work anywhere with your laptop, not laptop, smart tablets or your smartphones. And zipForm base services, I don't even know what that is. I think it's just base services. Okay, so I'm going to go into settings. So you can see that we have e-signing option. We have digital ink 2.0. And if you have for the one that has DocuSign, you can link your DocuSign, or you can subscribe the DocuSign for 200. I believe it's $240 a year. Still $240 a year, but there's sometimes under other. Sometimes if you go to a trade show or your company has a special program with DocuSign, it is cheaper. I have heard people join much cheaper than $240. What's the difference between DocuSign and digital ink? Digital ink is provided for you for free, and DocuSign is a charge. And why does people use DocuSign if it's charged, and why can't they just use digital ink? Digital ink, it's getting better, easier to use now. Before it was a little bit difficult to navigate. And DocuSign is easier, faster, and apparently work better sometimes if you're having clients signing it overseas. And not too much of asking questions. If your client is not fluent in English, they will have a little bit more trouble with digital ink. But digital ink is improving. Okay, it's doing much better now because we're into 2.0 now. Before it was a little bit challenge for the non-speaking or understanding English clients. Okay. I don't know why I have my email option off. I'm going to turn it back on. Lending screen. So when I open it up, you can set it up as dashboard or transaction list. Maybe I should change a transaction list because I don't really know why I'm looking at the dashboard, but you have a choice of doing that. Choose the default view of your listings and how you want to set up. How do you want to auto save every 5 minutes, or you want to save it a little faster? I think saving it 5 minutes is the fastest one. And then we have the high global navigation bar while in transaction templates. Hide the dark blue navigation bar. If you are working, I turn that off. I still want to see it. Automatically check PDF document for data. So our forms are not in PDF forms. So if you want to do that, they can also check PDF documents for data to be imported into transaction. So if you want to transfer something in, apply broker agent information, templates. This is template, automatically apply things for you if you want to. Some people like to do Zapper. Zapper is not free. Just remember, a lot of them are not free. A lot of them are just charged. Zapper is $49 a year. Okay, so I'm going to save this. Okay, and we have notification settings. You want to be notified when somebody does something. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice today. Notification 3 days before, or you can set up whatever you want to. You can also send notification every day until due date if you want to. If you set up a checklist or a task, this is what they're talking about. DocuSign is fun. We're going to talk about DocuSign shortly. DocuSign, Docking Box. It's like a parking lot for me. Transactions and documents and share. So I just turn everything on just in case, okay? List flash is what I turn on by, if somebody paid the list flash and they want their listing to be published to all the agents, I set up how many miles I want to see and from what zip code. And email me every time a new list flash is published. Sometimes I wonder why I'm getting all these agents new listings, because I set it up here. Okay. Offer place notification, send email when another agent sends you a message through an offer place, saying that or text message when you listing receive a new offer. You can turn that on. All this is retention policy. I didn't set up anything on that. Title notification, receive title when the title ordered, or title docs, title notes. I haven't received anything like that, but I set it up. Okay, but it doesn't mean anything. So assistant and transaction coordinator. So if your company has have an office transaction coordinator and they want you to make sure that you use a transaction coordinator, or you using a transaction coordinator, you're welcome to invite them so they can come in and look at your forms. Okay. So that completes me. Okay, so we're going to start doing, if you click forms, it's all forms editor. I don't think I want to touch that. I'm going to cancel. Okay, so I'm going to do a new transaction with you. Okay, I'm going to do a new transaction, and I forgot to check what kind of listing we have nearby. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to buy a new property. Current location. Okay. So current location, what's there for sale? Okay, there is a new listing in San Gabriel, I'm going to use that, okay? So the property name, you can enter client's name or property address. Most of us like to use property address. The reason for that is that the property address, your client can make offer on many properties. If you use the client's name, you're going to be confused yourself. So a lot of times we just use property address per transaction. So that at least we know what property are we talking about. In the multiple situation right now, it's hard to find a property. So clients always said, oh, write an offer for this one. If you keep on having one client's name, you're writing a lot of property address, you'll be so confused. Which one did you wrote under that particular transaction? So this is the property that just came on, and it's a brand new listing. And I put in the address, okay? I'm gonna go to MLS Connect. You guys see that? I'm gonna click MLS Connect. And here, I'm gonna put in the MLS listing ID, which is, I'm looking for it, hold on, okay, guys. Okay, here we go. Okay, listing ID is AR 22049475. So AR means that this is an Arcadia Association listing. We are West San Gabriel, so ours is WS. So all the letter abbreviation in the front shows that this particular agent belongs to Arcadia board. So yours will be WS. It shows that you belong to our board. And Citrus with a C, Tri-County with a TR, and Pasadena is PFR, PFAR, we call it. So I'm going to include the photo. I'm going to search find. There you go. So I have the information about this property. I have also had the agent ID. Again, he started with an A. And I'm going to click use listing. So this is called the MLS Connect. So connect information from the CRMS, and we're going to save it. Okay, so here we are. We have the new, I'm going to write the offer for this particular property that is in the market for, how much is selling? $828,000. And it was on for just a couple of days. I'm sure he's having a lot of multiple offer right now. Okay, so this is the transaction we just created. It's a purchase, right? A residential purchase. If you come here, we have the picture and we have a date. You guys see that? It says retain until March 14th of 2029. So this is, what year is this? 2022, right? So 7 days from today. Why do we give you 7 days? 7 years, I'm sorry, not 7 days, 7 years. It's because that legally we're supposed to retain files for 3 years. And the attorney feels that we should, because they think that we have a lot of places to keep all the files, 5 years. And because of 3, 5, and zipForm decided to just give you guys 7 years. Okay, 7 years. So if you decided to withdraw your status with as a real estate profession and you're going to move on, please download the files to your computer or somewhere, or USB drive, because once your membership is canceled, you will not able to see all the forms that's saved on zipForm. Okay, So make sure you remember it's 7 years. And here, when I click the little arrow going down, it tells you that it was created 2 minutes ago. We're going to give you a retention date until March 14th of 2029. Status is active. So it's transaction detail. We can email to transaction. If you do that, you can email all the email, like you have escrow instruction, you have forms from home inspection. Instead of download to your computer and upload it to zipForm, you can also email the transaction. And here is the email address for this particular transaction. If you copy this email address to all of your email pertaining to this transaction, they'll email it into this particular 1856 South California Street in San Gabriel. So that everything will be emailed in. So make sure, if you want to do that, make sure you copy this email address. Each document has one email address. Each document has one email address, okay? Kind of fun, right? You can save as, you can copy, you can save as template. We're going to talk about templates later on. You can delete if you feel that you don't want to see this transaction ever again. And once you delete, you will not able to retrieve it, okay? You can import from archive. You have something you want to import in. You want to export. Like I said, if you're going to quit, you're not going to be a real estate professional person joining a membership for local and CAR, NAR, who will disconnect your zipForm privilege, and you better export all your forms out. You can lock it because you don't want anybody to come into your forms and take a look at it. Or you can show form version, send to another system. Go to Realtor Property Resources. That's another website for like a multiple listing thing. You can do it net sheet. You can have a transaction fax cover. If you do that, there's a fax cover that they can fax directly into your transaction. But honestly, I haven't received a fax for ages. So if the people are still faxing, you can use your fax and send it to 1-866-741-5099 for this transaction. Okay, only this transaction. Form advisor, we talked about that, and form tutor. Okay. So that is what this is about, okay? We have parties, we have documents, we have checklists, we have notes, we have e-signature, we have history, we have marketplace. So it tells you that this particular transaction, it gives you, we download it from CRMS. We have the parcel numbers here, pretty much everything that we, from the internet. List price, listing date from CRMS is here. It won't tell you the commission though. Okay, so I'm going to call all some forms. So here you guys see on the top right, says all forms. You could do it from here, or we could go into documents and we can call forms. Remember, we have shop all the forms here. The one that's California Association of Realtors forms. And if you click the down arrow, we have all, we have the forms that I call out already, right? So we have the California Association forms, which is all our forms that we need to do transaction. American Home Shield, Finance, Health Library, California Sample Letter, California Regional Multiple Listing Services forms, EPUBs, Foreclosure Library, Home Guard, home warranty, home protection, and San Francisco Association of Realtors if you're doing a transaction up in San Francisco area. So what I want to bring your attention to is the CR sample letters. So these forms are requested by member like you. They want to know if our CR attorney staff can write you guys a sample letter to send out. Let's say you have abandoned personal property on a commercial property. What kind of letter do you write? Abandoned personal property residential. They have the act, you want to get in to the property and you have a tenant, so you have to, or you have to get permission, right? So you got to let them know, I want to come in. A knowledge of non-tendency from a third party, acting against broker's advice to a buyer, acting against broker's advice to a seller, relief abandonment. Why is so important? Because those are personal properties. You can't touch them. A lot of things, if they say, well, you touch my stuff, and it's it's pretty much my things that you touch, and I'm going to come back and sue you. So you make sure you have these type of things. This is a new one I never seen. Confirmation of a conversation, like you talk to your client and you want to confirm that the client's aware of what we said. I'll open up for you later. Okay, so demand for a seller to perform. All these letters, before you start calling attorney and says, can you write me a letter? Come over here and take a look, see if we have it for you already. Security deposit return, all this are great forms. We can take a look at one of them. Okay, so we have a sample letter. I'm going to open up full screen so everybody can see. So it has my name, my brokerage, to so-and-so, dear so-and-so, your resident above premises, your tenancy, all this, your vacant property, your deposit, and what happened, and tell them, tenant. So we have a letter for you, sample letters for you that you can always, it says my internet connection is unstable. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Vaughn? Oh, it came up, says internet is unstable here.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good, thanks. Okay, we have confirmation of conversation that you have said something to your client. It says, dear so-and-so, I'm writing you to confirm our early conversation, or a buyer's agent, or any type of thing. So here it is, letters. I think it's kind of doing all this. So I'm going to delete them. I don't need them. So once you delete, it's gone, right? You guys understand that? Okay, the other forms I want you guys to be aware if it's very important. It's called the California EPUBs, and this is due. There's nothing due, but it's not due by money per se. So we are required to give earthquake booklet if it's built prior to, I think, 1960. So here is the booklet. So a long time ago, we give them a booklet. Nowadays, we give them an email and signature. We need those. We need to send as a listing agent. You need your buyer agent, so for them to say I received it. This is one forms. have to email to, if you're a listing agent, the buyer's agent, and you have to fill these out. Okay. And this one is also the page that we're talked about before that had to be signed by and filled out by the seller and forward to the buyer to sign. This one, okay, says I found the booklet and I'm I'm giving it to you, to whom it concerned. I received a copy, right? So they confirm they have received this copy. So that's where you find it. It's not in anywhere else but California EPUBs. Okay, let's go back to the important stuff, which is the California Association of Realtors. We have so many forms, so many from A to Z. You guys see all that? Kind of crazy, right? I think so. Sometimes they ask me what form and I can't even remember. So you can do a couple things. You can search by typing the name, like the residential purchase agreement, or you can type in for their abbreviation. We call it RPA, right? It's California Purchase Agreement. Or if somebody says to you, you know what, just send me RR. Okay, what is RR? You don't know? It's okay. We type in RR. Mostly is request for repair. Sorry, Ronnie, it's a little choppy, the sound. The sound is choppy. Okay, our internet is, I can go by category, back office. Before we have COVID, forms, commercial forms, disclosures, forms update of December of 2021. To give you an idea how many forms were updated in December 2021. All these forms are updated in December 2021. Kind of scary. I think they worked 2 years for this. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know how long they worked, but they did update quite a bit, quite a forms. I never seen so much update. So you're going to do a lease. You have all these forms. If you're going to do a listing, this is the forms that you possibly need. Okay. We have property management, we have purchase, and you can go by A to Z, Z to A. We can do form number. Like we said, okay, what's AVID? Oh, AVID. Okay, but be careful. There's one for the buyer and one for one for the buyer's agent, one's for the seller agent. Okay. And all this forms by abbreviations. Okay, so are you guys okay understanding how to call the forms out? So what I like to do is show you, me personally, I like to do cover sheet. And we're gonna buy, right? So we're gonna do a residential purchase agreement. Okay, so by doing the cover sheet, I like to open that up. And I'm gonna do full screen. And I'm gonna put in, buyer's name is Albert, our CEO of our association. I'm gonna put an X here. So every form with his signature, there will be an X, and that'll be in green, right? And I'm gonna write my email address because Albert is not here. I mean, if I send it to his email address, I'll probably never see it. And by doing, if you have more than one buyer, of course, you're going to click another X. I always like to click the seller X, so the seller knows they have to sign there too, just to do the listing agent a favor, right? So here's all the information that we have uploaded from MLS Connect. I'm freezing in here. They just turned on the air conditioner. It's so cold in here. And the purchase price, we haven't decided yet. Well, the prop is 800 and let's give him 900 because we know it's going to be over anyway, right? Okay. It's a residential. And it has my company name as a buyer's broker company, and automatically auto-populate the listing agent information for you. So you do not have to type it in for them. This will show up in the last page of the RPA, and listing agent will appreciate very much so if you type in all the information for them, because that way they don't have to do it, right? And I don't know why this one didn't come up. 06. And I just sometimes I don't understand why this never comes out either. Okay, so all this is auto-populated in there. I filled in all the information that I want to fill in. If you know the escrow company, you're welcome to do that. If you know the title company, you're welcome to do that. Appraisal or pest control, disclosure company, warranty company. You can select your disclosures now if you like, because we can always put it in. My HD. If you want your home warranty company, you're welcome to put it in as well. Okay, so all this is, you can put it in as much as you can if you like. Okay, so that's done. I'm going to go into the RPA. I am sorry, let me text and let them know I'm freezing in here. It's so cold. I'm sorry. They turn on the air condition. I'm in a small room. Fang, can you tell staff to turn off the air condition in this room? Is so cold. I'm sitting in a freezer. Thank
Okay,
you.
will do.
Thank you. Okay, so this is our form. If you open it up, you say, why is not the residential purchase agreement? Because we're putting a package for you. We, CAR have found out that a lot of you forgot to put in very important forms. So they say, okay, then we will put in as a package. Oh, okay. Okay, so we have the disclosure regarding real estate agent relationship. So here it is, Albert, right? And me. You guys see that the company name is right here on the first page. And then we go down to the next page is the fair housing and discrimination advisory. Basically, it's telling you do not discriminate, okay? By saying this to you and your buyer or seller, so they know that they cannot discriminate. And if you do that, you're in trouble. So Albert has to sign. Possible representation of more than one buyer or seller, disclosure and consent. What it's really saying that is that you are allowed as a buyer's agent, I represent Albert Trump. But if I have another buyer named Fang, can I represent the buyer Fang even though I represent Albert? By signing this form, the answer is yes. And so that's why, or the buyer, I mean, the listing agent and can represent the buyer as well. Yes, by signing this form. Wire fraud and electronic funds transfer advisory. So this is very important that we put it in as a package, because when we get the escrow instruction of wiring instruction and we forward to our clients, say, here, this is the wire instruction from escrow. Our email can be hacked because our email are not encrypted. And when that happens, we will get sued. We will get sued and saying that the email came from my agent. It didn't come from escrow. So by transferring the email with a PDF form, or someone will hack you, because there are people that sit there in front of the computer waiting for someone says wire instruction, right? So please let your client know before they wire. Obtain the phone number, account number only from escrow officer or property manager or landlord at the beginning of the transaction. Do not ever wire or electronically wire funds prior to calling to confirm the transfer instruction. Only use a phone number that you were provided previously. So make sure that you do that. And you probably think, oh, wow, this don't happen. I have to tell you, someone just told me recently that the wire was hacked, and it was initial deposit. It was gone. So it does happen. Okay, just be careful. The biggest one I heard was like almost $700,000. Was wired to somewhere. They would try to trying to get it back. And I don't know what happened after that. I never follow up. Okay. So the California Residential Purchase Agreement and Joint Escrow Instruction. This is the new one that was done in December of 2021. Here's the date. I'm going to put a prepared date is today. And Treeland, Johnny Lam is the listing agent, who is my friend. I just happened to pick up this one, kind of funny. Artnest is me, and I am the buyer's agent, right? So we're gonna buy the property, $900,000. Since Albert is my buyer, I decided to tell Albert we're gonna pay all cash. So once I click this all cash, if you guys see, everything here just disappeared. The rate, the loan amount. I'll do it one more time. See, the highlight portion is here, but once I do all cash, all this is gone. You guys see that? Okay. So I'm gonna put in, usually we do 3%. So, or we can put in 3% here, but I think it's 3%, 27. Right, 3%. It tells you 3%. And if it's normal date, this is 3 days, 3 business day after acceptance by wiring. It's so contradicting, right? Wiring, but be careful. No more cashier check. They're not accepting cashier checks anymore. Before they do, but now their old form they do, but the new form, no. Okay, so all this is done. Here it is. Here's our form. It's 6. Remember I told you about how the listing agent information is on the form? It's right here. On page 16. When I started working as a real estate agent back in the 1990s, we only have a couple pages, okay? And we have duplicate pages. So one for the buyer, one for the seller, one for us, one for the other agent, and one for the office. 5 carbon copies in the back. So nowadays, 16 pages. Here you go. See, his information is here automatically because we have import from CRMS, right? Okay. So we also talked about the every first page on the bottom, your company name is there. It used to be on every page. Then they say, too much. So just on the first page of every form. Any questions so far? You guys been awfully quiet. Are you guys all good? Or did you not hear me because of my connection not good? Okay, so you guys see all these forms. Let me show you something. Okay. So if we click some kind of form, they automatically adds like this one. So if it's a probate property, we need to have a probate agreement, purchase agreement addendum. So if you click this as a form PA-PA, we automatically add it for you. Anything that you click, it will be automatically added to you. If it's a backup offer, you click this, it will automatically add it for you. So don't worry about going and finding that form because all the forms will automatically be there. Okay. Let's look at every little icons on the top. So at this time, you can save it. You can back to normal. Remember, I have a full screen. You can print. You can print this form. You can print multiple forms. You can print a sample form. When you do print a sample form, everything will say sample, sample, sample. Oh, thank you, Ronnie. Okay, so you can print this form. You can print all the forms that you have work on, or you can print a sample form. You can send. We can email. Okay. You can email to your clients or listing agent, or you can fax. You can fax. You can fax only in the United States. It will not go out internationally. So please remember that. Okay. So email, remember I put down the contact information and it's here, right? You can include all the sticky notes that we're going to talk about, or you can attach a fax cover if you're doing the fax, and you CC yourself. I would highly recommend you guys to CC yourself because all the email that sends out, if you put some content, you're going to write someone a letter regarding this transaction. If you don't CC yourself, you will not have it. It will be gone. I don't know where it will be, but I once wanted to retrieve an email that I sent to, I forgot who I sent it to, and I can't find it. And I call zipForm and they say, well, did you CC copy yourself? I said, no. He says, then I'm sorry, the email is lost. I wasn't happy, but I have to live with it. So from there on, I tell myself, I either CC myself or I copy myself. Please remember to do that because I learned the hard way. You can send using zipForm email, the Gmail I have, or the Microsoft Hotmail I have. So if you're gonna do Gmail, you have to set it up, okay? So I'm gonna get out. So you can save the form in PDF format because our forms are not in PDF, okay? We can do fast fill if you're really good. You remember everything that every column is asking you. You're welcome to a fast fill. I'm getting old. I can't do that. I don't remember everything. So if I click that, it becomes a very short questions. Okay.
Ling, sorry, you do have a square box in the middle of the screen.
That's
It's blacked
okay.
out, but it does block the area.
Okay. Can you
Okay.
guys see better?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks. I'm trying to move that thing over the board. Sorry about that. Okay, so if you guys are really good and knows your form, you don't need to read 16 pages. Here is the easier version, okay? But I am not good, so I'm not gonna do that. So I'm gonna back out. Okay. And you know, we're gonna fill the form. There's gonna be empty spaces, empty, like all these empty like here, because there's nothing filled in, right? So there are people uncomfortable leaving it blank, not filling in. If you're that person and you feel that I don't want anything to be blanked, I want all the blanks to be filled N/NA, and they will be. This is where you come and just click it. All the blanks will be NA. Okay, I'm going to take that out. I'm going to remove it. Okay, so we also have sticky notes. You can use as many sticky notes as you want. You can put in new note that says please sign here. And you can make it smaller and you drag to the place that you want them to see. You can put in as many sticky notes you want in many places, however you feel you like. It will not print, but it will email to including the sticky note. Remember we talked about that with the send. You can put as many sticky notes. It will open up for them when they click it. And if you want to explain your client, oh, please sign here, or why do I did this, or whatever you feel that you want to communicate with your client via sticky note, you're welcome to do that. I haven't seen too much offer with sticky notes. We can preview what you have done. Sorry, it's kind of slow. Monday morning, zipForm is always slow because everybody's writing offers. Okay, so from the preview, you can do send, you can print, you can download, you can change the description, you can add to a task, or you can open up a new window. Okay, you can check your spelling. Please do. If you're not sure if you type in the right wording or you type too fast, sometimes you don't know what maybe you mistakenly text something. We can always check your spelling for you. And internet copy, I still until today, I think you can just copy it if you like, but every time I press that, nothing happened. So I'm not quite sure how that worked. Okay, you can highlight. We can select county tax fee, and we come here, we do the highlight. Okay, so if you want to share something with your client, says, oh, initial deposit, paragraph 3, how to deliver shall be wire transfer. You can highlight that. You can undo. You can redo. Okay, and under more, we're going to open it up. You can upload photos. You can upload photos from your computer, or you're using this on the smart tablet or your smartphone. You can upload photos, and those photos will print out or email with your forms. Sometimes we do this to remind the client what they buy, or what's really good to attach photos is when you do the Asian visual inspection, the AVID. The AVID is sometimes you see something about the property, you want to make sure you have a photo attached to the contract. That's what you do. And what you do is just attach photo from your computer. And I have thousands of photos, I'm sorry. So we can say we want to attach this photo. We can upload. We say okay. And the photo will be here. Okay. And when you print or you send the email, it'll be attached with it. I'm going to delete. Okay, under more, we have field lookup. If you sometimes you write something very often, they save it for you automatically, like the cities, county. Okay, but you can add your own too. And Cloud Clause Manager is something that you can put in your library. What you put in, you can add, or your company maybe have a way of saying home inspection, or you know, recommend a licensed home inspector. You can type in those type of thing, and you can use it under disclosures. Okay, so we have also given you something called text overflow. You cannot find the form anywhere under all forms, but it's called text overflow. What is it for? It's for a couple places. I think it happens now in the I think it's repair request, or any, I think addendum. If you have a lot of things to write, they do give you a text overflow. And sometimes here are the terms. In another place that since they moved the form, I don't know where it is any longer. But what it is that you feel that other terms, because there's only 1, 2, 3 columns, right? If you feel that is very, very, it's not enough for me because I had to write other terms in here. So if I write a lot, you can continue to pass the 3 columns that automatically give you a text overflow. And the text overflow will say this is a text overflow for the residential purchase agreement, or a text overflow for the repair request, or text overflow for addendum, and it will have buyer and seller signature on it. So you have to sign it in order to say I received it. Okay, but it will not find the form anywhere unless you overflow the text. So it's called text overflow. Okay, I remember I marked the X. So on the cover sheet, it shows here the buyer, the seller. The buyer is always green, the seller is always red. Okay, and are you guys understanding all the icons, to do all the icons? You're okay, right? So we're here. We have summary. Okay, we have parties to the transaction, right? We have buyer side, seller side, service provider, and on the buyer side, you have buyer 1, 2, 3, 4. You can add. Okay, you can add. Sometimes you want to add your transaction coordinator, your lending, your attorney, your appraisal, all of the people that you like to add, you're welcome to add. We have documents. We talked about documents. We're going to come back and talk about the second portion about templates, e-signature, and checklist is something that members requested, like you. They want to tell the client or tell yourself what is due. Like for instance, we have the data contract is today, the listing is today, and now we know that we have, if it's accepted, we have 3 business days to put in deposit, right? So we can put a new checklist, and then 3 initial deposit. Three business day, right? So we're going to save, and then we're going to create when. So it's going to be, okay, I guess I did it wrong. It should be, this one, it should be, let me delete that. I think what I should do is, instead of doing this way, I should do, okay. So I'm going to do a new checklist. I'm going to do checklist for buyer. I'm going to save and create a new one. So I'm going to say 3 EMD, 3 business day. And I'm going to set the date. If it's accepted today, 3 business day, 1, 2, 3, right? And who's responsible? The buyer, right? Albertron is responsible, and status in progress, right? And I'm going to save. So it'll tell buyer, hey, you need to get your business, your initial deposit in by March 17th. And you can set up all the dates based on your contract. Why is it good? Because one time I had a client who was a seller. He says, hey, Ling, can you tell me what's going on? Where am I with my transaction? What do I have to do? When do I anticipate the appraiser is going to come? When do I have to do the termite? When do I have to go in to sign grandee? When do I have to do this? When do I have to move out? So all this, you can just send them a list of dates, and they do appreciate when you do that. Okay, so that's what it is. And notes is about what when you guys are making notes to yourself. E-signature, we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about history. We're going to talk about marketplace. So do you guys want to come back? We'll take about 8 minutes break. Come back 11 o'clock. And I need to go over a lot with you guys. We have templates, we have document box, we have the e-signature, we have the mobile version. So we'll take a short break, and then we'll come right back, okay? Thanks for being here, and don't leave me. Thank you. The last one we'll do is the e-signatures. The templates. What is templates? Templates, let me delete these. This is from other classes, so I won't get confused. Okay, so what we do is we can create a template for listings, residential listing. We can create a template for residential purchase. We can create a template for lease properties. We can create a template for commercial. We can create a template for all the transactions that you probably need. So when that happens, you just go and call, says, I'm going to use this template, and it has all the forms are automatically put into a transaction. So I would highly recommend you guys to look at your company required forms to get all the forms in one template. So let's say I'm going to create a new template. I'm going to create a new listing. And I'm going to create it by, I would say, Remax listing templates, right? I can do a residential. Of course, I can do others as well. You guys can see that, right? You can do industrial, multi-unit, condo, medium, commercial, vacant land, anything you want. I'm going to save it. So when I save this template, okay, I can call the forms, right? So I can call all the forms for listing. So I'm going to put in listing. I like cover sheet. You guys know that. Residential listing agreement. Maybe I would probably need additional signature addendum. I definitely will need Asian visual. California Consumer Privacy Act is included. I will probably need, what do I need? What does my company need mostly? Does my company need fire hardening and defensive space advisory disclosure was updated in May of 2021. Do I have the base paint? Do I have to have what else? Oh, do I need this? Of course, right? Listing, maybe I need a TDS. Maybe I need check with your company, because company you have a list of things that they need before you can close. Statewide, water heater, smoke detector, compliance, right? Okay, let's say this is all the forms I need for a listing, and I just created templates for this one. And let's go back. Let's also create a new template for purchasing. So I would do a Remax. Today is Remax. Sometime is a different purchase. Okay. So I will do residential again, and I will save. So here I would go into, we're doing purchase. A cover sheet again, residential purchase agreement, addendum. I would go by the list of the forms that's needed from your company. So that way you have all the forms. Then of course you probably will add forms as needed, right? And the buyer counter offer number 1, all the forms that you might need for a buyer, right? Buyer needs to do. What does buyer forms need to do? Maybe I need to do a repair request. Repair request number 1. What do I need? All the things that you probably need as a buyer. So let's say this is all the forms. So now I have created 2 templates. One is residential, right? And the other one is listing. So I'm going to create a new transaction. I'm going to create a new listing transaction. I'm going to put down 123 East Valley Boulevard in St. Gabriel. So it's a residential. And I'm going to select the templates. I'm going to come here to select the templates. I created 2 templates, right? Right now, I'm going to, I remember this was a listing, right? So I'm going to select the listing templates. I'm going to click save. So when I come to documents, all the template I call out is here already. Okay, so that's how you save the templates, and you call all the templates. If you have other templates that you want to create, you're welcome to. But remember, when you change company, your old templates, right, has your old company name on the forms. So you probably had to change new templates again, okay? So let's go back to our offer. And we also have add documents. We have email to transaction with fax cover letter. And here I probably want to do, if you want to add documents, you're welcome to add, let's say we're going to add, you can add home inspection. You can add a title report. You can add escrow instruction. You can add anything you want. You can also add photos, as many photos you want. You can also add video. You have video, or you can add music that reminds you of this transaction is a pleasant one, or is a happy one, or it was a scary one, or a very sad one. Okay, you can add all this, and it's an unlimited storage because we give you a vault of unlimited storage. You can put as large files you want, any file you want, anything you want in this transaction. So we don't give you a limit of your size of your file. So the vault is very large, and that is also free to you. Okay, so let's do signature. It's not a probate, so let me get rid of probate because we clicked that and they added, right? Let's take this out. We're not doing a backup offer. Okay, so you can do a couple places to do e-signature. We're going to do digital ink first, then we're going to do DocuSign. So I'm going to do, you can do it here by clicking e-signature, and you have to click new, right? And what are we signing? We can sign the purchase agreement. And I'm going to close. You see the signature package number 1. You can rename it if you want. You can rename it to purchase RPA. And you have digital ink 2.0, or you can do DocuSign. But right now we're going to do digital ink 2.0. And we're going to go next. If I lose you or you don't understand, please raise your hand or put it in the chat, because I usually lose people in this transaction doing the e-signature. So here, Albert's going to sign because we're doing a residential purchase agreement, and I have to sign. I am his agent. Okay, so on this particular digital ink 2.0, couple things was added. You can also add a signer after this one, because you say, oh, I forgot a signer. Let me add a signer. You can come in and add a new signer, okay, by doing this. Or you can add a reviewer. If you want somebody to review this transaction for you, you can create a new person. Let's say your manager, your broker, or somebody you feel that need to review your transaction for you. You're welcome to do that. Add a reviewer, okay? You can CC a person, you can CC yourself, or you can CC someone else. Okay, use the button below to add others you wish to automatically receive a copy of the signed document upon completion of the signed package. First and last name and email of the person is required. So you're welcome to do that. You can add the person, or you can save that. That's what 2.0, the only difference is add a reviewer, and pretty much that it. And you can do a signing order. You can have Albert sign first, or you can have Albert sign second, and I sign first. Or it can go out automatically all at once. Okay, so why do you want to send yourself first and Albert second? Or do you want to go out all at once? If I have myself as an agent and I signed it, so I know that this process has begun, right? So I know that I signed it and Albert would be next. So at least I know that. If I don't have a signing order, it'll go out all at once. And Albert sign Albert's and you sign yours. That's fine. but you don't know whether Albert is signing his until later, right? But at least this one, you know, it has generated. So some people like to do signing order. The problem, if you put your buyer first and buyer never opened, let's say the first one never opened, the second will never receive. Because if the first one never signed it, second one will never get it. So if you put in a signing order, whoever received it first, that person has to start the process. If that person never start the process, the second person or the third person will never get it. If you have three people, three signer, the first person signed, the second person signed, the third person never signed, you will never get a complete package. So it is what it is. And some people say, how come I never got it back? Because someone probably never signed it. It's still in process. So do you want to go all at once? Everybody gets it at the same time. You're welcome to do that. At least you know that everybody will get a copy. You don't have to wait for the next person or the person before you to sign it in order to get it, right? So all go at once. All three people will get it all at once, and they can sign it at their leisure. But if you sign it the signing order, it will follow the signing order. 1, 2, 3. So one person doesn't sign, it'll all be stopped. It's like a stop sign. So nobody will get it. Okay, just remember that. Don't think that you signed it and the next person get it and he didn't sign it, and third person will never sign it because the second person never opened it or signed it. So maybe in that scenario, it's better to not have a signing order, right? So it's up to you how you want it. Okay. We have the cyberspace security, and I think used to be one signature, one signer, $5. I think now it's just one $5 for purchase action. Okay, I think, I'm not sure. I never used it because you know, whatever, right? For the people wondering why I can do same email address for two people, is because it's teaching purposes. Don't think it's okay. Okay, it's not okay. Don't think this is okay. The reason I'm doing that is because if I do send it to Albert email address, I would never see it, and I could not teach you guys. So I had to use my own email address. But does this happen? It does happen. If you have a senior couple and wife never have an email address, and the husband has an email address, and the husband says to you, can you send it to me and I'll sign it for my wife, but don't tell you that. You don't want to know. Okay, you don't want to know who's signing it. You can say yes, I can do that. Is it, you probably start thinking, wow, maybe there's something is not right here. Yes, it's not right. But if you think about it, if they're purchasing with a loan, right, the escrow will catch it, right? Escrow will have to notarize with their signature. So both party has to be an escrow notarizing it. When that happens, maybe if you like, you can get a wet signature at that time. But the only time that they're not allowing e-signature and they want an actual wet signature is mostly when you're buying a bank-owned property or you're buying a short sale property. Anything to do with a bank, they want you to sign in person, a wet signature. But most of the time, we do accept that. And the seller, they have to sign the grantee in order to sell. So they have to be notarized somewhere, right? So if they go to escrow to notarize, maybe you want to get a wet signature at that time too, if if you feel more comfortable with that. Okay, so I'm going to move on to next. You know, e-signature helped us a lot during COVID because nobody wants to go see the clients. So e-signature was a big thing for us and got very popular. Okay, so here, remember, this is the first time this form has gone on to be signed via e-sign, right? So our system automatically set up this, says sign here, and they will automatically give you the date that it was signed and the time. So on each form, they will have my signature, Albert's signature to sign. And Albert, okay? So initials, 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 and I have to sign on the page 16. Right here, I do have to sign, but I think it was a little bit high. Let me move it down a little bit. So because this is the first time it's going out, it's automatically located for you. Let's say if it's not the first time, because maybe the form has been signed many times by many people, it's coming to you. You have to drag the signature and go over there. Okay, we'll do one together later. So you can see that every place where the buyer had to sign and where I had to sign, it's placed for me already. So I'm going to go to next. Okay, so it says you have successfully complete the creation of the signing. So we going to, you can customize invitation email subject to text. And if you do that, you can just click that and you can do your own subject, and you can say what you want to say to Albert and to Ling. Okay, I'm going to close it. I'm going to do send invitation. So thank you for using digital ink. And let's go back. Okay, so I'm going to go back to list of California Street. I'm going to go here to documents. I'm going to go to e-signature. So here is the package that we just did together. And it says here that the process it's in process, right? So me, I haven't signed it. Albert hasn't signed it. You can view the detailed history. You can retrieve the signature, or maybe you go, oh my God, I made a mistake. I can do it, edit right here. I can edit the email address. I can edit the form to be signed. So, or I can delete. I don't want this form to be signed anymore. Okay. So let's go to my email, and please do not be scared because I receive so much email every day. Okay, here it comes already. See, it says it didn't come from my email address. If you guys notice that, it came from secure@authenticsign.com. Okay, so tell your client it's not coming from your email address, it's coming from someone else's email address, and it says please sign. So because I have already done this before, I don't need to set up a password or anything like that. Before, we have to set up a password or things like that. So they ask you what kind of font you like. You can choose your font. Today, I decided I'm going to choose this font. I'm going to save it. I'm going to accept. And here it says start. I'm going to click start. I'm just going to click, okay? That's all I did, and it's complete. So thank you. You have now successfully reviewed and signed, right? And I'm going to go back to Zip Community. Is that if you want to talk to your client regarding this particular transaction, but I always get confused at this one because every time I set up a password, they say it's not me. So I'm kind of confused, but I'll talk about a little bit later, okay? So I'm going to get out. I'm going to go back to my email, and I'm going to check the one that Albert has, right? Because we send it to Albert. So here says Albert, you're, please sign. So I'm going to start signing for Albert. Albert only has 32 signatures. So do I want Albert to sign like this today, or do I want Albert to sign like this today? So I'm going to sign this one. I'm going to accept. I'm going to start. I'm going to click, 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 click. Kind of boring, right? If you have like sticky notes, it'll come out too, okay? This is an option. That's why they had to click accept. Okay, so now Albert has completed. Okay. There's a move. What's going on? I think my internet is something wrong with my internet. I'm going to go back to CR.org and log in again. Did you guys okay? Are you guys okay understanding what's happening with the digital ink? And digital ink is free. Okay, there's no charge. We don't charge you for that. Where can I view this Zoom class material again? Nina, I think that we do record this particular transaction, this recording today. So I think it goes out to all members. Is that what you're asking? You keep on asking me about this. It's kind of annoying. Okay. All right. So we just did the transaction, right? And California. We're going to document. And we did, you can check the e-signature, says it's complete. Okay. It's signed. And we're going to go back. Okay, to documents. And you see this RPA. I'm going to open up because it's here. The signature. Nina, I think that we do send out a new our taped recording after this one. It's on YouTube. And there's so many recording on YouTube of all the past zipForm classes been taught. So here it is, the fully executed from Albert and me. Okay, all the signatures has been done. So from here, you can send, you can email it to the listing agent, you can print, you can download, you can send it again for e-signature. Okay, you can change the description. You can change it to property address so that when they receive it, they'll have that. You have markup. You can split the file. You can split, like, because we attach so many files in there, you can split the file by saying first page is the disclosure, couple pages the wire instruction, a couple pages is this and that. Oh, so slow. So you can split the file. So like I was split as split. the document is AD, right? And I would split from page 1 to 2, right? And I would save. So now I have a form that is just the disclosures. Okay. So when you send out to the residential listing purchase agreement that we signed already, you have to send out from here. You cannot go from the original because the original has no signature. So you have to send out from here. It's either our internet is really slow or zipForm is really slow. You can attach this to task, or you can put a placeholder, or you can open up a new window. And sometimes I receive this a lot. I don't know whether I want to send this out because it says that Ling Chow signed Ling Chow and Ling Chow signed Albert because Albert emails is here too. So if I don't want my other agent to know my client's email address, I don't think it's good to sign this out. This is just only to prove that it was signed. Okay, so that is digital ink. We're gonna do DocuSign. Okay, I'm gonna start with same form, but we're gonna do a DocuSign. So I'm gonna load this blank form again. I'm gonna do e-signature. And signature package will be residential purchase agreement. And I'm gonna put DocuSign so I know, because I'm getting myself confused. Excuse me. Then I'm gonna do DocuSign. Okay. I'm gonna do next. So as signer, I'm gonna add Albert and me. Again, we can do the signature order, or we don't have signature order. And if you're gonna do a signature order, if Albert doesn't sign, I will never get it. If I sign first, Albert will get it second. Okay. But each party has to sign by sequence. If one person doesn't sign, the other person will never get it. So I'm going to take that out because sometimes it's kind of not a fun thing waiting. And you probably wonder where to go. We don't know because the person might not sign it. You can add signers. Okay. And if you feel this is fine, we're going to go to next. DocuSign, there is a fee, but a lot of people seem to like it better. Okay. And remember, again, this is the first time it's going out. So all the signature is there for you already. Okay. All the signature is there for you. If it's going out the second time, then you have to drag and paste. You got to drag the signature and put it somewhere. Okay. Since it's not going, let's say I'm going to put another signature here for Ling. Okay. I'm going to put it here. So if it's not the first time, you have to drag signature, initial, where the initial is, and you just have to keep on doing on each page if it's not from the first time. Okay, because right now it's a first time, so they have all the location of the signature. And DocuSign has a problem. They're not lining up to where it's supposed to be signed. So sometimes you have to look at it and drag it down. There's a, I think that you have, I don't know why DocuSign is getting better, but sometimes it's way off where they're supposed to sign. Let me make sure it's on the correct line. A girlfriend of mine called me and says, why can't DocuSign get the line straight? I said, I don't know, because they're having problem getting aligned. to where it's supposed to sign. Hers was way off. She was like over here somewhere. I said, how did that happen? She was not happy. See, this is pretty off too. So we had to drag it down. It's a little bit off. The digital ink doesn't have that problem, but just DocuSign lately. Okay, we're going to send it here. It says send. Okay. So right away, I receive a text from DocuSign saying there's a process of somebody signing. Okay, so here we go. So I am signing, review doc. So Albert have one too. I'm just signing for myself right now. I'm going to start. You see the process is a little bit easier. This is the one I added in. And for client who doesn't are fluent in English, they found that this is easier for them. So let's go back to, oh, Albert got one on the bottom, I think here. See, so Albert and I both got the email at the same time. So we'll do a start and sign, 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 sign. And someone told me that in China, it's easier to use DocuSign. Digital ink is a little harder. I don't know. So maybe you had to purchase in order for them to sign easier. Okay, we finished. Okay, so no thanks. So let's go back to zipForm. So I have to refresh. So the RPA that did the DocuSign is here. Okay. So I just retrieved it once, so I got two of them now. So this is the one that we signed by the digital ink, and this is the one that we signed by DocuSign. Okay, here it is, the one that we signed. See, it's still a little bit off, huh? The signature is not really, the one I touch is correct, but my own signature is like a little bit off because I didn't touch it. So from here, you can send out, you can print, you can download, you can send it out again, right? You can change the description, make it to the property address because you're going to send it out to maybe to the listing agent. One, you can change to 1A56 South California Street, San Gabriel, California 9176, and we save it, right? So when you email it to the listing agent, they can see that. You can split it. You can attach to a task. You can do a place code, or you can do a new window. Okay, so we do have let me delete one so we won't be confused. Okay, so are you guys understanding the DocuSign versus the digital ink? Any question? Are you guys okay with this? You guys have to play with it most of the time because sometimes it's a little bit confusing, but this is the way that everybody's doing now. Okay, so before I go on to smartphone or tablets, I want to share something else with you. It's called Docking Box. So Docking Box, you can, it's like a placeholder. It's like a parking lot. You can park a lot of documents in here, okay? So what it is that you can, this is the parking lot address, the email address. So if you copy this address, okay, or you can do email to DocuBox and then just copy this address. All the emails that you send to this address, you CC this address, will come and park here. And when they received it, it doesn't come really fast. It's a little slow. It doesn't happen like right away. If you have like transaction that you want to, you don't know where to put it at this time, but you want to save it into zipForm, you can CC this email address, and it'll come here and park here. So what happened after you get it is like you can like an earthquake receipt. So where do you want to park it, right? So you can also, when you open up the earthquake receipt with a little arrow here, you can move to a transaction. When you click this move to these transaction, it come out all these. We can move to the California 1856 California. I can move it in here. So when I do that, I can go back to the California transaction. I look at the documents. You see the earthquake receipt that we just moved. It's here. Okay. You guys see that? So it's like a little parking lot, and it parks all the forms, and you can also add forms in here just to park here. You can browse for a document on your computer. You can browse the Dropbox. You can browse the Google Drive. You can browse Box or OneDrive that you have. Okay, some people have Dropbox. Some people have Google Drive. Some people have Box and OneDrive. So you can do that as well. So Docking Box is just like a transaction. You don't know where to put your files as yet, but you like to keep it somewhere. Okay. So are we okay with that too? Do you guys understand? Are we good? Any question? You guys are all good, right? I'm going to move to my cell phone to share with you how to do touch sign. I'm going to open up the phone. I'm going to open up the Zoom meeting
Okay.
on my phone. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to mute myself. Can you see me? Fong?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing on this on my computer. I'm going to share on my phone. Okay. So Okay, here we go. Okay. So we have zipForm mobile, right? So it's going to look like this. But how do we get there? I'm going to show on the on your tablet or your smartphone. On the iPhone, you go to Apple Store. If you have Google Play, go to Google Play. So when you go to Apple Store, like I have, okay, I'm going to search on the bottom. I'm going to click search. And I'm going to type in zipForm mobile. You guys see that? Don't go to anything else, okay? Go to zipForm mobile. I'm sorry, go back. zipForm, they want to do the lone wolf one. Yeah. Okay, did you guys see the one on the bottom says zipForm by Lone Wolf? We're gonna open it. The one that doesn't have it, you have to download it. So I'm gonna open it. Okay. So for the one that download, when you sign in, new ones, when you sign in, you have to sign in from CAR credential, not zipForm credential. But if you do zipForm credential, it doesn't work because we sign in from CAR. So whatever the password and the login from the car.org is the one that you're going to come in. You're going to log in from CAR ID number that you set up and CAR password, not the zipForm. Okay, remember that. It's very important. So here's my zipForm mobile edition. I'm going to click the little arrow on the top with the line 1, 2, 3 on the left. I'm going to click that. And I'm going to go into transactions. So we did 1856 South California today together, right? So I'm going to open that, tap that. And this is our transaction summary. All the things that we put in from the CRMS Connect. By the transaction summary, do you see the little arrow up and down, the little white arrow going up and down? I'm going to click that. When I do that, you see I have transaction summary, parties, document, checklist, notes, eSIN, history, and marketplace. I'm going to open up documents. So by opening up the documents, everything that we did just today is all here. I don't need to upload. I don't need to in-sync. I don't need to do anything, right? So we have the RPA that was signed by Digital Inc., which is the first one, right? And we also have the purchase agreement signed by DocuSign, which is this one. So it's all here. It's automatically transferred to my phone, right? My smartphone. So right now I want to teach you guys how to do touch sign. So I'm going to add a new form. So I'm going to click all form. Let's do addendum. Okay, addendum number 1. I'm going to add the form by clicking the arrow up and down. Okay, I'm going to close this by clicking the red X. So I'm going to go search the form that I just added, which is right here, the addendum number 1. I'm going to open it up. Okay, so I'm going to enlarge it and click addendum number 1. Right? And I'm going to say seller is real estate license. Seller is California real estate. CA real estate. Okay, so I'm gonna be done. So Albert have to sign this, right? Because Albert had to disclose that he is a real estate licensed person. So I'm gonna click the e-signature on top. Okay, I'm gonna use my finger. I'm gonna tap it. Okay, once I tap it, it says e-signature package is addendum number 1, and signing service, I have digital ink 2.0, but right next to that power by, you have an arrow up and down. I'm gonna click that arrow up and down. Now we have DocuSign, TouchSign, and digital ink 2.0. You guys see that? Okay, I'm gonna select by using my finger as TouchSign. Okay, so I'm gonna sign the service via TouchSign using my finger. I don't know why I don't have a video on. It doesn't work, huh? How come I don't have a video on my phone? Anyway, I'm gonna use the TouchSign using my finger. I'm gonna click next on my iPhone. Okay, so here buyer number 1, Albert's gonna sign, right? Make sure that you have an email address. You need an email address. If you don't have an email address, the person cannot do TouchSign. So an email address is very important. So I'm gonna click and select Albert by the little box. I'm gonna touch it. Once I touch it, the check mark appears, right? I'm gonna scroll down to the bottom because Albert is the only one who's gonna sign, right? And I'm going to do close. So now Albert is the only one who's gonna sign via TouchSign using my finger. So I'm going to click next. Okay, it says legal consent. And I'm going to scroll down to the bottom and it says, I agree. If you click, I do not agree, it's not going to happen, okay? Everything is I agree. Okay, so now we have step 3 of 3, add signature. So how are we going to add signature? You see, we have on the left is sign, initial, text, date, right? I'm going to click sign. You see that? Once I click that, it says tap to sign or generate a signature. I'm going to tap to sign. I'm going to tap it using my index finger. I'm going to tap it. So once I tap it, it come out like this. And I'm going to use my finger. I'm going to write Albert's name with using my index finger, which is not really great. Okay, so now my scribble Albert's name is there, right? So I'm gonna say select, right? But I need it to be on the bottom where the Albert signature is, and it's on top and it's big. So do you see on the top has a little like a cross, like a crisscross? I'm gonna hold that down and change, move it down to Albert name, but it's still huge. So what am I gonna do? You guys see on the bottom right, on the bottom, it has a sign and a pen. You see that? On the right underneath the pen, there is a little three line going on the bottom. Okay, I'm gonna hold the 3 line down and I'm gonna I'm gonna hold the 3 line and I'm gonna change the size. You guys see that? By holding the line, I know you can't see my finger. but that's how you change the size of the signature. And the crisscross sign, I'm gonna hold it, I'm gonna move it down to the bottom where Albert's name is. Okay, and I'm gonna put, you see the one, it has a sign, I'm gonna tap the sign. And now Albert's name is there. And I'm gonna put the date, the same thing, I'm gonna click date. And it's big, right? So you see underneath add date, there's a 3 little line. I'm gonna hold that down and I'm gonna change the size, right? I can enlarge or I can move it down, and it's pretty, a little bit smaller maybe. Then I'm gonna use the crisscross, the black crisscross. I'm gonna drag it and I'm gonna put it by, oh, it's still a little big. I'm gonna change the size a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna put it where the date is. And when I do that, I'm gonna say add date. And that is how you do touch sign. You guys okay? Any question? Are you guys good? I see somebody has something on the chat. Let me see what it says. Oh, all right. Thank you, Gina. She left already. Okay. So when this is done, I'm going to put done, D-O-N-E. Okay. And it says, please confirm participating signer was be sent a signed document. And we're going to say, okay. I'm looking at it. It's funny that here on my phone spin faster, but on my computer is kind of slow. The spin is slow. Okay, so now it says signature has completed. However, authentic certification failed. The signed document are still available in your transaction. Whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna go back. Okay. I'm gonna find the addendum number 1. Did you guys see that? The second one on the left. I'm gonna click that open. And it says now it says touch sign. I'm gonna open it up. Okay. And here I can send this addendum to anybody, or I can print and I can click more. And more I can download, I can send it out again. I can change the description, I can do markup, split, and rotate and place a fill a placeholder or a new window. Okay, so I'm going to close this up now. Any question about touch sign? You guys are so good. No question, huh? Okay, so I'm going to leave this one and come back on my computer. Stop broadcasting. And I'm going back to Zoom. I'm going to leave my iPhone. Okay, I'm going to share screen here again. Okay, so I'm back to my computer. I hope you guys see that. I'm going to the 1856 South California. I'm going to go back to the documents, and I'm going to find the addendum that we signed via touch sign. So here it is. I can send it out. I can do e-signature again. Okay, I can also do add a document. I'm going to browse for a file. Too many files. I don't know which one I can share with you guys. Okay, let's say we're gonna do this one. That's not a good one. I'm gonna search for um, okay, I'm gonna upload this termite report. And where'd it go? Here it is. Okay, if I want to sign any documents, like say you're gonna have somebody who is giving you escrow instructions, approval of a termite or something, right? And you need to be signed. So you have to upload onto this form like this one, and we had to approve the termite, right? So I'm gonna do e-signature. I'm gonna do DocuSign because it's easier for me. And I'm gonna go next. And it's gonna be, I'm just gonna show you. So I'm gonna just using me to sign the DocuSign. And I'm gonna click next. It's the same, it goes the same with digital ink. So what I'm trying to show you is how you drag and put into the signatures. So I'm gonna drag the signer and put it here. I'm gonna put a day sign here. I'm gonna put a signature here. I'm gonna put initial here. I'm gonna put a day sign here. Okay. Okay. And then here, sign, initial, date. So it just wherever you want it to be, and you had to drag it. Okay. If you want to put text information, you could do it here. And you can text, add text here, says, please sign this. Okay. And we can send. Okay. Then we come here. And review. Allow. Continue. Start. Sign. 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 Okay. And I am finished. Then I'm coming back to here. You have to refresh, okay? If you don't refresh, it doesn't show up. Okay, it didn't show up. Okay, here we go. So DocuSign is here. Are you guys understanding the e-signature? Are you guys put me on radio mode? Okay, so all these signatures are here. You guys see that? Okay, so do you guys understand about e-signature, MLS Connect, record Record Connect is a fee. You guys know about apply templates, add document, you can add a folder. All this is pretty much covered. What I like to share with you, thank you, Ronnie. Okay, so what I like to share with you where to find help. There's Learning Center. So there is, sometimes you have a pop-up blocker, so you have to know that you had to turn that off. And the basic navigation, as you know, how to do all this. There's video, there's summary, how to do all this. You can just click it and it will tell you. And if you're looking for a local certified trainer, you can do that as well. And there's YouTube, there's live training. They do have quite a few live trainings from Lone Wolf. Okay, they'll tell you when it basic. They don't do a 3-hour class like we do. So they have the fundamental phase 1, phase 2. They split it up. Okay, and they do have a help guide. All this, you're welcome to take a look at it. And videos, I talked to you guys about videos. You can look at all this little short clip of videos. Digital Ink, MS Connect, Record Connect, List Flash, you know, all this little videos, short videos. And knowledge. Okay. Support contact. We renew your account every year around March. So here is the contact customer support. They have telephone number, and I have to tell you, they really hide their telephone number. Chat, they have chat with us. Contact. Yeah, see. They really good at hiring things now, hiding. There is a broker edition of the zipForm. If you see someone who has a zipForm and on top, on the zipForm on the top left corner, has their company name, that means they're using a broker edition of the zipForm, and they have to pay for that. It's not free. I am trying to find where is the contact information. They really don't want you guys to call them, huh? Including me. I think this is to get help on how to buy the products. So that's not it's not a telephone number that they want you to call to find out what's going on. So I really don't know where they hide it. Let me see if I can find it elsewhere. Let me see here. Yep, I can't find their telephone number. Maybe next time I'll ask them what's a good telephone number to call them. But they just want to do a chat. They don't want you to call them. training, consulting. Yeah. Live chat is still I can't open that one. They won't let me open it. The store is open. Ronnie is open. You can come in anytime. We are supposed to go back hopefully in April, no later than May. So we're after the close of because of COVID, we closed down since March of 2020. It's been 2 years, believe it or not. But you're welcome to come in to buy things. And we do have it online as well, that you can order and ahead of time and then come in later to see what you need. Let me show you. So where to go? I think it's shop online or something like that. Member services. I think there's where's the shop online? Albert told me there was one. Fawn, do you know where we have shop online?
At the very, very top right corner, MLS, next to the MLS login, there's pay dues and
Yeah,
online store.
I don't see it.
It's where your
Online store
mouse
here.
is.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
here. Yeah, here it is. So you can shop online, okay? And then you can order the items that you want. Okay, what else people say? Okay, so any question? You guys are awfully quiet. Why is it when I teach people are so quiet? No question? No question at all? You guys are all okay. Please play with it, because sometimes you have to really go on it to really try to do it, and then you'll know more about what you're doing. But if you don't do that, you will never know. So there's a couple things that you can change to. You can do my transaction share with me. You can sort by most recent and all this wonderful thing. And NAR has a RPR. You're welcome to play with that. I used to be a certified trainer for the RPR. I'm no longer teaching that anymore, but it's a good resource to search for multiple listings throughout the United States. It's nationwide, so you can search listings in Florida, New York, as long as they have it. You can search particular properties in Chicago or Washington, D.C. or Seattle, or Oregon, anywhere in Texas. So it's a fun thing to do. Any question? If no questions, we can end the meeting early. Okay, and I hope one day we'll get to see each other at the board. And hopefully, I won't recognize your name, but if you come and tell me that you were in my class, I'll be happy to say hello. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate your 3-hour time with me. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing, and hope everybody learned something today. Thank you very much, and Fang, we're done.